again. Oh, what a lovely time it is to be alive because the world is fucking crazy. Let me just start out with that. By the way, hello everyone. I'm Spirit 420 because everything I do is so damn dank ass 420. Now, right on what I'm saying. The world is so strange. How do I put it? I remember growing up, like as far back as like maybe 5 years old, as early as 5 years old. And I remember thinking when I was, I guess it really technically, it started then because quite frankly, I heard a lot about history because of my family, my father, my grandfather, and their, military history. But I think it really started hitting me, probably around like second, third grade when you start taking U.S. history and world history, particularly. And I was like, I wonder if I'm going to be alive for any crazy shit, man. Nothing. In fact, I remember thinking specifically back in the 80s, and it probably was around 1984 because the book had come out, the movie was on its way out, and so everybody was expecting Big Brother in 84. We didn't really have it yet. But I remember thinking to myself, man, this is fucking boring. The 80s are boring. Nothing's ever going to happen. I'm going to just live life, and it's going to be, a whole bunch of boring shit. Well, I couldn't have been fucking more wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong. Like, just fuck, dude. Let's go back to, what was it, 96 with the Olympic bombing in Atlanta. That was the beginning. Really, the beginning was the first attempt on the towers back in 91 with the van, for those of you who may or may not remember those times. It has been anything but fucking boring. In fact, the last 10 years have been incredibly ridiculous. What's up, medic? Good to see you. Hey, nice to see you, Yami. Nice to have you in the house. It is always fun to see some new folks that get to show up to the show. Dirty, always fun to see you. I know we'll have some more people in here in a minute. I was just, I was starting off with, it's, I don't know if anybody else was like that, but back in the 80s, and maybe when you were young and nothing had happened yet, let's just go there for some of you who are younger than me, and I get that. But if you're in your 30s, maybe you dealt with this or dirty before you went on to war, because God knows you see war and you're like, fuck, you see some shit. But when I was a kid, man, that like from 8 to like basically until I started dealing drugs, I was like, this is boring. I'm never going to see shit. Am I going to be through one of these generations that somehow gets through and doesn't see, so much as a Korean war, right? No. It made it worse, by the way, in 91 because we thought we were going to see war, right? Desert Storm. Was that 30 fucking days? It's not a war. That's so inconsequential in comparison to the things we've done, before and after. It was amazing. Respect to those who fought in it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in comparison to when you're a citizen or a civilian, I'll say, and you're looking from the outside at all the different things that make a country great or make time, not necessarily a country great, but make time notable, right? Like you're actually living through some fucking history, right? It didn't feel like Desert Storm really added a lot to it. Let me just say that. Nor did the attempt on the towers because it was a failed attempt. And not that I was wishing something. Don't get me wrong. I was never wishing anything bad. I just was like, man, am I going to go through life and not really see a whole lot of monumental, eventful things and all that? Obviously changed. I think actually now that I, truly think about it, and I know some people are probably going to go off, and I'm not trying to go off on a conspiracy theory, so don't take it that way. But for me, and the reality that I live in, back in, I believe it was 88, if I'm getting the year correct, and I might have to look it up, but I believe that was the year of Tiananmen Square in China with the college students. I don't know if anybody remembers that, and it might have been a different year. I may be getting it wrong. But what I remember, that was a monumental day because that tank ran over that dude on live CNN coverage. So that was my memory. That was the really first time I remember thinking, okay, this is some real shit. I kind of thought that on Reagan's attempt, but then again, he didn't die. Like Don't get me wrong. I was not wishing the man death, but it was amazing. I'm like, they can't, I remember thinking to myself in a smart aleck way, I was like, dude, assassins can't even get it right anymore. Like, they can't even fucking get an assassin right. They can't kill anybody, right? It's funny I say that because just this morning or yesterday morning, I was watching, hadn't seen it in a while, and I just bought it, and Full Metal Jacket. And for those of you who have seen, hey, what's up, Strange Bird? How you doing? For those of you who've seen it, one of the first things that he does when he's introducing the rifle, and I'm talking about the drill sergeant, is he brings up the guy at the Texas Tower that killed a bunch of people in the 60s. And he also brings up Lee Harvey Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald. Wow. And he doesn't bring them up in a bad way, by the way. He brings them up with the fact that they got their training for that gun in the Marines, and that's what made them such badass marksmen. So, it's kind of funny. I remember watching that. I was like, God bless, man. Can we even get away with saying that people said that back then? Like, that movie was like I remember watching that when I was like a teenager. I was like probably 15. I have to look at the date, but I swear I was like 14 or 15 when I saw that movie. I'm pretty damn sure. I remember sitting at a friend's house watching a good portion of it. It's a 2-part movie. What I mean by that, it's not, you don't have to see it in 2 parts, but it's literally 2 different parts. There's basic training and everything they go through all the way up until they're dispatched. And then there's another movie that is like, the 2 are completely different. They feel different. They're, they're obviously different times, and Stanley Kubrick went to great lengths to make them feel like 2 different. It's like watching 2 different films, but they obviously go together extremely well. So, yeah, back to my point. I am living in a time where it seems like every other fucking day, something monumental at this point, at where we are now, is happening. I mean, I see just stuff happening all the time. Apparently, Putin has finally left the country. I guess he's going to visit the Middle East or somewhere. I'm not political, but I thought that was funny that, like, Putin has left Russia for the first time since the skirmish. Okay, whatever. Didn't really matter to me. That was my point. That to me is not monumental, by the way. That's just boring. And they'll cover anything sometimes, so you have to read. That was my really only point there, is that you'll read like 15 pieces of shit to find one good piece of news. And when I say good piece of news, sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive, right? A good piece of news is a good piece of news. It's something that you felt like you needed to know that you didn't already know, and some outlet was able to give that to you. That's it. It's new to use. News. Do we even think of the words anymore? I mean, I can only assume that news got its name because it was new to you and you hadn't seen it before. Therefore, it's news. We got a couple other crazies in the house. What's up, Princess? What's happening, big man? You Harley Davidson riding fuck. Love you, brother. So, what did I have? Oh, this was funny. This was so fucking funny. I happen to know that my wife is always in a way, or how do I say it? Secretively watching me. So, babe, could you please bring up the purchase that I got from ARC yesterday? I want to show the folks before I go into it. But one of the first topics that I had for tonight is that they are listening, right? I think sometimes people doubt it. And don't get me wrong, I give a lot of credit to the fact that I think we live in essentially what boils down to, and I'm not going to get into that great debate, but what essentially boils down to a form of simulation that God has put us in, right? I was hoping to hear the door knock here in a second. Anywho, babe, if you're listening, could you please grab the item that I bought from ARC yesterday that is about they are listening? So I don't know if you're still watching, but if you are, please grab that item and bring it up to me. Thank you. So I went to ARC. That's part of the story, obviously. And I went in there and had no intentions of buying this particular item. I want to start off with that. There's a knock I was waiting on. So I go in there, and I just love to look at the knickknacks, right? And I actually went in there. My wife went in there to look for some shoes or something else. I can't remember what it was. She always likes to buy used stuff. She just loves it better. But anyway, we went in there, and when that happens, I will go take off and start to look at the knickknacks. Usually the wooden stuff. I love fucking wooden stuff. Anything wooden. I did get a little box yesterday, and no, I'm not referring to a new female for those perverts in the audience. But back to the point. I went over to the knickknacks, and as I came around the corner, you know how aisles have the end caps, right, with the things there. And I come around the corner of an end cap, and this was sitting there, and I want to make sure y'all can kind of see it there. So I don't know if anybody gets it, but right off to me, I was like, holy shit, that looks like almost a replica of the Holy Grail that is pictured in Indiana Jones and the Lost Crusade, or Last Crusade. Last Crusade, excuse me. Spirit's high. It's okay. My spirits are high. And I fly with them into the sky with them. Regardless, I thought it was cool as shit. It was like $250, right? And anybody who's ever seen the movie will tell you, I mean, it really does look very much like the little grail that saved Sean Connery, Harrison. Oh, Harrison, you sweet motherfucker. Anybody else think Harrison was a fucking total badass when they were a kid? I honestly, he was one of the ones that I thought was just a badass. It started when he fucking pulled out the gun, and I learned real quickly that was an improv scene. But in Indiana Jones, when he pulls out the gun and kills the dude that's doing all the sword play in the very first Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is now called Indiana Jones in the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Same with Mad Max. Both of those movies were not those names. Road Warrior was the Road Warrior, and Harrison Ford's movie was Harrison's Ford movie. It tells you how quick I'll forget shit. Raiders of the Lost Ark was Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was not Indiana Jones. They ended up renaming these movies due to the series, and so everything now is Mad Max this, and same Indiana Jones this. Back to the point, that's when I thought that he was a real badass when he did that. You know, and he was one of those guys growing up. Funny enough, I remember going to see Temple of Doom by myself, and that was like 10 or 11. Went to go see that in the theaters, like rode my bike from my house, which was like a good, 3-mile hike. That's not that big of a deal. That's not the point. But I'm saying, like, I was that dedicated to go see it, and I counted up quarters to go and fucking see that movie. And loved it, even though it was horrible. The worst, well, not the worst. The worst is definitely the skeletons. So, anyway. So, they are listening. I was going to come back. Don't worry. I have never in my life searched the term Indiana Jones, Holy Grail, Last Crusade replica, right? I've never written it down. It's not like it was some bucket list thing. I just fucking saw the thing and thought, fucking A, that is badass. It looks like the fucking... And it is a coffee mug, funny enough. But that was yesterday. I open up, and Amazon wasn't open. I open up Amazon, and the first fucking item, man, the first item is like, it literally says, hold on, I'm gonna get this. It's the very first thing. It's like an item for you. Hold on, come on, fucking work with me, you piece of dung. Hold on, you know what? I'm gonna turn the fucking thing down. Maybe that'll help. There you go. So I'd never searched for this. How the fuck does Amazon know? Of course, how they know. Even though I've told Alexa, that she can suck my cock and she's not allowed to listen to me. They are clearly still listening to me because they got it right there. Here's an item for you, buddy. We know you like that shit. We just heard you talking about it yesterday. You know you want to buy it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's already documented. What do you think I'm doing right now, you strange bird? That's what I showed you, by the way. So I should say this just so that you're aware. That was a screenshot. I screenshot that shit because I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Nobody will believe me. I immediately took a screenshot. I've never searched for it. I've never done anything except speak the words of how cool it was that I got that item yesterday because it reminded me of the Holy Grail. I didn't even say all those words. My wife was there, but I was like, it reminded me of the Holy Grail, I think is what I said to my wife. I didn't say Last Crusade or Replica or any of that. No, they just heard that shit and were like, oh, this motherfucker will buy this because he likes it. But they're listening. Don't think they aren't. It's how, start to test it for yourselves, folks. Find something, because we know that if it's been in a movie, then somebody's making it as a replica, right? As a keepsake or whatever. So make the test simple, right? Go pick something in your fucking head first. Pick it in your head. And then go and start talking to somebody about it. But make sure it's something that you've never searched for, right? Don't go and search for it. You got to think about this, right? It's all in your head first. And then you talk to somebody about it just a few times and see if some shit don't pop up on your fucking phone like, hey, you want to buy this Stranger Things t-shirt. I've never told anybody that I like Stranger Things. I kept that a secret. It was one of my skeletons. So, what is that? If you carry a phone, oh yeah, of course they are. That's a fact. That's the point. That right there. That's where they got you. I want to put something in your phone hole. So, nonetheless, let's go back to it. They are clearly listening. There's so many examples, and that was just one that hit me in the face because I was like, I guess the way it happened is, it was one of those things that I've always loved, but never thought about, did they even make a fucking replica? And then I was sitting in Ark and his sitting on the shelf. And I'm like, holy shit, it looks like they decided. And I only said it like maybe two times, maybe three. I don't think I've even said it three times. I said it to my wife as soon as I found it and then told my mom. Maybe I said it to somebody else. Maybe that's why Amazon heard me talk about it three or more times or something. They're like, oh, you have to buy this. But still they're listening. I mean, that's my point. They are absolutely listening. So what's next? I had it written down. No, that is not what's next. My wife would kick my ass if I showed that. What did I say I was going to talk about tonight? Oh, here it is. They are okay. So this was hilarious. As a lot of y'all probably know, I've been making these videos. I premiered one on the last episode. I'm going to be premiering one. Yes, they are always listening. That is absolutely no joke. The proof is in the pudding. You can't make that shit up. I never typed it anywhere. The only fucking way they could have fucking known is because they had ears. That's it. It's the only way. Or they're reading my thoughts, which is even scarier and probably happening too. But let's keep it real, folks. Sorry, I was hearing the voices in your head, in your head. So, drone flight. I've been doing really good. And what's funny is the day that this happened, let me start off with that. I told both of my partners, if you remember, I call us the three weed men, right? We're not wise, but we have a weed site, Dank.Tube. And I told both of them on different conversations, not at the same time, but I told both of them that same day that I was going to do what it takes to get my actual drone, unmanned pilot's license, because there's different levels, and even on just the regular ones, you can get, a pilot's license. So I was talking about doing this, and I was talking about it because I'm like, I'm going to go out and make some cool videos. Now, the one that I have is nothing spectacular, but it is honestly, to me, it's incredibly dope for the money. It's a DJI Mini 2, right? And this thing does, what's funny is the Mini 3 does 0.3 miles per hour faster. So the Mini 3 does exactly 36 miles per hour. The Mini 2 does 35.7 miles per hour. So regardless, that's still 35 miles per hour. And when you're only like, you know, this high off the ground, that looks fucking badass, right? But it is riskful, and you really have to know what you're doing. So I say this because as I show you this next video, and I'm going to show you the first one, because I was doing really well. Like when I show you this first one, just understand that I did what I thought was extremely well, right? And you'll see it take off here in just a second. And quite frankly, you know, I was pleased with myself in the sense that I've only been running this thing for about 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure it's playing. It's going to go here in a minute. It just has a little bit of is it playing? Are you playing? Where is the play button? Oh, is it not? Oh my God, is this not going to? I guess this is some stupid. Oh, no. Well, I guess that's not going to show it, and I really thought it would. Oh, you know what? Here, I know what I have to do. Sorry. Haha. I have to play it from here. So there we go. Okay. Oh, so anyway, as you can see, I was doing pretty well. I mean, I'm just off the ground, right? And I just want to show you this first video because, quite frankly, I was doing really well. In fact, if you look, watch closely in the back, you'll see some people come into play, and that's immediately like I take off right there, boom, and I was gone, and I did really well, right? And now I want to show you how I say later that day. This was the second attempt. So I was doing well. I missed that bush, and then I went back there, and then oh my God, doosh! Did you see that? Here, let me give it to you one more time because it happened so fast. There it is, and you can see that is one nasty. This is a light pole, but this is a metal light pole. Okay, and I'm at this point, I'm probably getting right up to about 35, 36 miles an hour. Doosh! Like it was done. Dunzo is all I can tell you. And when I say dunzo, I mean, I remember I was walking up to it. I was like, oh, please, God, let it be fixable. Let it just be a blade. But here's the funny part. I saw what happened on the screen. I didn't see. I would, you know, when you're piloting, you really have to learn to watch the screen. You cannot try to pilot it by watching the drone like you do an RC car. It's a different experience. It's full on camera piloting, right? Which lends itself to a few mistakes, by the way. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it was really funny. And if anybody wants to see it again, just say so. I can show you the smash again. It won't take but a second. But in the sweetest of terms, and put it like this, I'm sitting there controlling it. You have to do everything by video, as I said, and I'm watching it, and you know, sound even as far away as where I was does not get to you as quick as the image, believe it or not. That's kind of funny. Like even the signal of me hitting that was just a hair quicker than the whack that I cannot even recreate this whack. It was so loud. So you got to remember those people, right? I took off. They were probably 50 yards back behind me. They heard the whack and the kid just started laughing. I mean, he knew what happened. They were laughing because you could hear it, dude. It literally, it was almost like the equivalent of like an aluminum baseball bat whacking up against, a metal telephone pole. And I'm sitting there praying, like, oh, please, God, please let it just be a blow. Man, this thing, the moment I picked it up, I was like, it's fucking done. Like, there was a leg broken. There was like multiple blades were just barely hanging on, like there was a crack, and somehow they were not, it had not become two pieces, but it's like a split, all the way to like the thickest part of the plastic on the fucking blades. The camera is literally hanging out like a fucking eyeball out of like an eyeball out of a socket. And the little cable, so there's like a digital ribbon. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but it's just, little it's ribbon that has multiple lines in it, multiple wires, right? And there's two ribbons that connect to the camera, and one of them is just straight, just the fucking thing is done. I literally looked over my wife and I was like, that goes $600 right there. Boom, that's done. And now it's technically not, because I will say this: the savings grace is I have the 2-year warranty that covers. When I bought the warranty, as a matter of fact, I asked the guy, I was like, so can I go run my drone into a brick wall and it's covered? He's like, yep. So that's, at that point, that was why I was daring, right? I was taking a chance. Although there's a little bit of fibbage to that, but I'll let only those close to me know the whole truth on that. What I will say is this: I learned my lesson the hard way, and I now own 2 drones, and one has a 1-year and one has a 2-year protection plan on them. The 1 year is actually a better plan because it covers water damage as well as flyaways, and I get 2 replacements inside of a year. So they're literally like, if you just fly your drone away and it's gone, yeah, we'll cover that twice. Again, it cracks me up because they know that there's dumbasses out there like me. They're going to be like, 10-kilometer range, huh? Well, how far is 10 kilometers? I don't know that these, I haven't pushed mine yet, distance wise, but now that I have that warranty, you can be rest assured that I'm probably going to push it to the limit, because it's supposed to have a 4,000 foot cap altitude. Now that is lower due to the high altitude that I live at. But on top of that, it still has a 10-kilometer range. But I wonder, is that, lowered again because I'm in the mountainous areas? So, yeah, we'll see. It'll be fun to give you folks some updates. The next little thing I have is I'm going to do a Dank.Tube premiere video. I am exceptionally proud of this one. I guess each one that I get done with, I'm more and more proud of. And I'll tell you a few things about it maybe one day. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But the name of the video is called In the Middle. It's an airband video. For those of you born after 1990, airband airband video means that I guess I should say 1993. Give it that. So I guess you have to be younger than 40. So anybody 39 or younger may not know or be aware of this. But it was a very popular thing back in the 80s, particularly to have like airband battles. And the battle was really who could lip sync the best and dress up the best and have costumes. I don't think they still doing these things. I really don't, because karaoke just took it away. Like, who wants to see a bunch of fucking jerk offs? How do I say, faking it up there to a great song versus someone actually belting out, a few good choice numbers and actually sounding close to them, right? That seems more impressive to me just right out of the gate. I won't deny it. So I think air banding is banded, but we brought it back. The song is royalty free, so I do own the rights to it. But when you watch the video on YouTube and when you watch the video on everywhere that it'll be posted, when you watch the video, just know, and I'll probably end up adding it to here. I just didn't have time. I was in a hurry, so I will add the song credits. but it is by a dude and features a chick, and she's the one singing, and it's really cool. It's actually the name of the song. I can't even remember what their name of was, but we went with In the Middle because that was why we ended up liking it and using it for this video. So, without further ado, I'll put this little Dank.Tube over here on. I'm going to take this away for minimal exposure. And then I'm going to take me away. And I'm even going to mute myself when I go away. So I will be right back. Enjoy In the Middle by Dank.Tube.
Listen up, I gotta tell you, there is something you should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore. I've been thinking about the future, trying to forget about the past. So many ways that I could change for the better. Don't even know where to begin. If I allow myself to dream, will it be as good as it seems? Pull me out of this place in the middle, in the middle. Nothing more to embrace in the middle, in the middle. If I try to climb up the wall, everyone can see when I Take me up into the mountains, send me off into the wild. Misery is still a path I would choose if the alternatives are worse. I guess it's time to find a friend, one who will stick by to the end. Going out of my mind in the middle, in the middle. Wasting all of my time in the middle, in the middle. I take a bite and spit it out, unaware of what it's about. I'm not that good at faking it. I feel somehow I've broken it. I don't believe I'm part of it. In the If I try to climb up the wall, everyone can see when I fall. Nothing really matters at all. Pull me out of this place in the middle, in the middle. Nothing more to embrace in the middle, in the middle.
And of course, as any good stoner, I forgot to add that banner at the bottom of that. So there's the belated banner. Hope you guys enjoy that video. I will tell you, since this is Spirit of 420, and where I have to tell the truth. That was a horrible day of filming. One of my sons, well, both of my sons. So that was all three of my 22-year-olds, as well as my wife. And needless to say, the twins, who were night and day, were just at each other's throats. Didn't like, I mean, it was horrible. And I ended up getting, how I say, thank you, Strange Bird. I appreciate that. Or thank you. I clicked on what was Strange Bird, and then yours came through. So thank you, Strange Bird. Thank you, Princess Buttercup. I appreciate it. Sorry. That entire video was made up of and some people probably can see it, and some people may not, but it was all in all 37 seconds of video. Like, that's all I had to work with to make a video for a song that lasted 3 minutes and 39 seconds. So obviously, I tinkered and toyed with it and did a lot of different things to make it look different and have fun with it. And I'm a horrible drone driver in the sense that was my first day driving. Not that I've gotten much better, right? Look at what I did 2 days ago. But no, honestly, it's funny because I think it came out really well. So I would be interested to hear what others have to say. Thank you for the two there. I appreciate that. There's some more. Thank you. But if anybody else is here and they actually did watch it, Yami, maybe you can tell me your opinion. I'll call you out, T. And come on, Dirty, tell me, man, what did you think? If you're still here, and if you're not here, then I get it. By the way, put out some. I do want to mention a couple of things before I go into my other friend. But I have a friend, Wilson, the medical marijuana guy. Wilson, he's who I always call out, and I know y'all probably have heard me say his name from time to time. Please send some prayers and or positive vibes, whichever one you feel comfortable with doing, to Wilson. He had 5 epidurals today due to his situation. He was in a bad accident. His back has never been the same, and he has a lot of situations and pain, like a lot of pain. And you can imagine that 5 epidurals was not painless, regardless to say. So thank you, T. I appreciate that. Badass. But so send out some prayers and positive vibes to Wilson. He would be here probably. He's here, I'd say, more than 50% of my shows. So send him some good vibes. He needs it. And that actually brings me to yeah. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's let's just say the software makes it look easy. So but I guess you have to have a creative mind to know what to do with the software, right? That would be the same software in someone else's hands is not the same software in that person's hands, as they would say. Or the same penis, but this is not a penis. See, I didn't have one to grab. If I'd had a dildo here, I would have grabbed it. But this is the closest thing I have to it is this black flashlight. But that wouldn't be fun for entry purposes at all. You know, not. Looks a little rough around the edges, if you ask me. What is this? Keep knocking into your mic. This so close, right? You thought I bet you thought I was going to hit it. Like, oh, there you go. I did it for you. If it was freestanding, I would let it dangle like a limp penis and just kind of, here we can make it. You get the idea. By the way, who likes the afro that Spirit has going? This thing is good. I'm gonna have to go get it cut. There's all there is to it. I don't know that I'll have it done before Thursday or Saturday show, which is when I will be on again. By the way, Thursday, same Spirit time, or same Dank time, same Dank channel. That's Thursday and Saturday. By the way, right after this is done, I'm going to go ahead and make the video that you just saw. That'll be live on our on Dank.Tube as well as on our YouTube channel. So I'll probably tweet about that or something like that. But back to the last sunny point for tonight's show is if you remember on the last show, I was a little down. I was a little mopey, a little dopey. Only because you know, I knew something was wrong. That's all I can say. And if you remember, it had to do with a friend. There was a lack of communication. And I even said that this one didn't feel like him being a dick, but more like something was wrong. And he had just gone through some shit. So there was the chance of, you know, in relapse, I guess is the best way to say it. There was a chance of that, right? So I was worried of that. And today it got to be 5 days since I'd seen any visible activity from him. I hadn't gotten any kind of text from him in 6 days, in the sense of like direct to my phone, his phone to my phone kind of text message, right? iMessage, if you will. And so I was worried, quite worried at this point, because that's just extremely unusual behavior. And so I reached out and I called, and I knew I wasn't going to get an answer, but I knew that if I left a voicemail, that was unlike me. That was unlike my behavior, right? Is like, because I will usually just not leave a voicemail and I'll text them later. So leaving a voicemail, I knew might get some extra attention. And sure enough, I ended up getting a text later that he had been in a horrible car accident and nearly killed. And he's about half alive right now in the way that it was from him. So that's obviously good news. So now we need to send prayers and positive vibes to my friend there. And, just send them to me and they'll be directed properly. Put it that way. I promise. But it was, how do you say it? It's one of those pieces of news that you're like, okay, that really fucking sucks, but I'm glad to fucking hear from you and glad to know that it's not the worst, because honestly had gotten this deep vibe that I literally had the vibe of car accident and knew that. And I told him because if y'all remember, I think I've shared this with y'all before, but the night that my wife was hit by a car, I looked over my mom and right at the moment that it happened, told her that something horrible had happened to her, and pretty sure that it was car related. And then the same thing, happened with him, except I really got this strong feeling that he may have been killed. That was what I kept feeling, that he may have been killed. And sure enough, that was his words. So, and that's exactly the message that I got. That was the exact message that I got. If I come over like this, maybe, and I'll just stare at the mic, is that going to be better for you, T? But anyway, like I say, it's that bittersweet, as they say, bittersweet news, right? The content of the news sucks, but hearing from him and knowing that he's alive and knowing that he is going to be okay, probably some therapy, and obviously there's going to be more to it than that. I'm praying to God that it wasn't his fault, so that there's nothing against him, and possibly even, someone to blame and take care of all this that's going to be created, because there's going to be a lot of lost money. I can tell you that just from my own experience. So I'll be eager to find out that news, and I'll share it with you folks as soon as the news. That's why they call it news. Excuse me, I was about to do the bud tender voice, but it did not come out. I got it. That's what she said. It didn't come out. That's what he said. Excuse me. Fuck the coffee for a moment. The water helped greatly. I think that there's Bud. There he is. There's Bud right there. You got to find that sweet spot right in the middle. That is what she said. So there'll be a new Bud Tender video coming out soon. Finally got the rest of the footage. Had to redo it like 3 times, so it was frustrating. Needless to say, because the first time we did it, just didn't like it. The second time we did it, sound sucked. and my kids were yammering in the background. 3 times a charm. That's all I can say. Not 3 strikes, you're out. What's this? Missed it. Da, 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 da. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it, T. He will pull through, man. He will pull through. I truly believe that. I mean, that was him texting, which is already, like I said, that in and of itself is a great sign, right? And, it's funny because the drone, I wanted to go back to this and I forgot the sunny point of that. The acronym after that is everything happens for a reason, right? ETRA, everything happens for a reason. ET, or everything happens. EH, excuse me. FAR. EHFAR. Everything happens for a reason. I wrecked this drone. This drone's like $650. Now, I was pretty devastated. And funny enough, I still, I knew I was going to have to buy another one because of it. So I didn't have the money to go out and buy another $650 drone. And I just think it's funny because my credit had gotten to a good enough point where I went ahead and said, fuck it, I'll see what kind of credit I might get. Like, fuck it, I'll just try, and applied for Best Buy's credit, right? And they gave me $2,000 in credit. And to me, you're like, well, how's that? Everything happens for a reason. Well, I got the $2,000 in credit. I bought the drone. The drone is $650 with tax. That is less than 33% of 2,000, which as long as I'm keeping right around that 30 to 35% range, then it looks like good credit. So to get brand new credit and to only use a third of it, and that's all I need, to me works out perfectly. Plus I get, this is actually not on credit. Now I do take on a new payment of like $45 a month for a little while, but it's no interest payments for 12 months. And I'll make those no interest payments because I fucked up, but I can promise you this, the drone is covered and the new one is covered, and that won't happen again. I had to get a new one because I had to drive something right away while that one gets replaced. All right. So if you need the reason, then just figure it out. But everything happens for a reason. That is the reason. So something strange about me. Almost ponder that for a moment. I do love to do these accents. I like to click my teeth to the music, and I'm pretty sure I'm losing the enamel on my teeth now. I also like to mix accents into several different ones. And one time, this one little accent, it's more fun to do that. See how many you can put into a roll. Oh. But no. I like to click my teeth. That I think that's pretty fucking strange. And I was told years ago when I was a teenager that I better stop doing it. Teenager, mind you, and I still find myself now fighting it. I have these ridiculously strong muscles in the jaw here from it. And I may have already talked about this one before, but I can't stop doing it, and I have to. Like, I can feel spots on my teeth where I'm gonna the next time I see the dentist, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna need you to put some extra enamel on this here tooth, because I've chiseled her down to the rockin' beats of Megadeth. No, I don't actually like Megadeth. Metallica, I'll give Metallica up there. And lately, actually, if anything, I've been clicking my teeth a lot to Mayday and Tech 9. Those have been two of the most, and they've really got my teeth clicking like a motherfucker. So I think that's pretty fucking strange. That's something strange about me. In fact, most people don't realize just how normal strange is, and that is one of those things that I bet if you talk to people, everybody has their little quirks. Maybe they do this or click the pin or whatever their little quirk may be. The one thing I will say is opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them. Everybody knows that everybody else's stinks, right? Or everybody thinks that everybody else's stinks, I should say. Mine, personally, stink like bad fucking opinions. Not just teasing. Mine stink like And I have the fucking great brew tonight. This is the trifecta, 3 different blends, all in one blend for the spirit of 420 again. Mine stink like fine brewed coffee. I'm sorry, we're going to repeat that. Take 2. Mine stink like fresh brewed coffee. I wasn't supposed to squeeze my nipple. Fuck. All right, hold on. Take 3. One more time. Here we go. Oh, now my nose is making noises. Hold on, let me start all over. Everybody knows. No, that's I went too far back. Assholes are like opinions. No, backwards. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and everybody thinks that everybody else's stink. Mine stink like fresh brewed coffee and medical grade dank ass Mary Jane weed. Is that being redundant to say Mary Jane weed, or is it being redundant? You decide. Make a poll, ask people. You'll figure it out. What do we got here from Strange Bird? Strange are you. Thank you for being poo, or being you. Yes. Thank you for being you, Strange Bird. I may have to drink some coffee out of this. What I will say is I hope everybody enjoyed tonight's feature presentation, which was me being a jackass live on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter, and for your viewing pleasure, no less. So with that, I bid you adieu. Have a good evening. Each and every one of you are incredibly awesome. You are all, how I say, not just special, but you have a purpose. Just think of it this way, 6 degrees of separation, and this I'll always have to repeat now, but 6 degrees of separation means that, simply put, within 6 steps, you touch everybody on the planet. Well, if that's the truth, and it is, that's why the butterfly effect holds true. Because that is true, just know that you're extremely special, and every little thing you do matters. Remember that, both in a good way and in a bad way. Try to keep that in mind when you're doing what you're doing. I know a lot of people out there already know this. So with that said, you're all awesome, special individuals. I love each and every one of you. I will see you on the next episode, which will be Thursday at 7:20 p.m. Mountain Time. Dirty, that's 6:20 p.m. your time, buddy. Love you, man. Can't wait to talk to you soon. Need to have you back on the show. Just remember that we need to get need to talk. I know that just real quick, Duck has been busy, so no problem. But you could be on the show. So I'll reach out to you maybe tonight or tomorrow via DM on Twitter or over on Discord. Anyway, everybody have a wonderful evening. I will see you on the next episode. Oh, look, somebody made, oh, look, there we go. Hey, I love you, buddy. But look who made it. What's up, man? Just in the nick of time. But go back and watch it, dude. You'll enjoy it. I promise, brother. I promise. So I'll get back over here to the right page where I can exit properly. Again, I love each and every one of you. Dirty, I will be reaching out to you soon to see if I can get you on. Grizz, I already reached out to you guys on Discord, and I think, Dirty, you're part of that one too. So I reached out to all you guys and let you know, I'm looking to schedule some times for some live shows with you folks. Anyway, everybody have a great evening. See you on the next episode. You're all awesome. I love each and every one of you. Till the next time.